Hello everyone. Well, sorry about for this video being scuffed. I plan to record this on my PC with the mic on, but the thing is Samsung Dex is not responding to the USB cable I'm using. Probably because it's all taped up. Looks like it's gonna give in, so I'm going to record it through the phone to the mic, so the audio would look a bit scuffed. Now, with regards to that, I want to share. This is like those DFFOO vlogs that I want to share to the community and sharing my experience upon playing the game. And because, yeah, we don't have a copy of Shang-Chi to review on this channel, so let this be a feature, DFFOO feature. The top 5 weapons that I pitied in DFFOO. So the top 5, what does it mean for pity? It could be an LD, an EX, or a burst. Yeah. So we can also do some honorable mentions because there are some weapons that when there was no pity system yet, I was not able to cope with, and I spent a lot of gems on it, holding me back in the C50 era. See, the crystal level 50 era was a dark time. I was running half-ass characters without 15 CP weapons, just 35 CP weapons. And it was way worse in the 15 CP days, where I don't even have 15 CP weapons, except for Prish. So with that out of the way, let's go. So here are my top 5. Sorry about that, it's charging. Let me remove it first before we proceed to the top 5. We'll mention the honorable mentions before we announce our top 1. So, top 5 pitied weapon in DFFOO has got to be the first pity that I did in DFFOO, and I thought that was the day my luck would stop. And do you know who is that first pity? Do you know? It's her, Lena. Yes, this Avis killer here killed my gem stash. Lena, on her last chapter, I pitted her kit, 75k. And you know what's worse? Those were the times where me mixing was very, very common. So it was more than 75k. I spent tickets as well to get Lena. And what's even worse is that after Lena last chapter, guess who came out? Go ahead, guess. Go ahead. Yep, Rinoa. So, I got 90k gems then. I only got 15k when Rinoa came out. And Rinoa was not even nice to me. Sure, I got her EX early, but I don't have the power tokens. So what did I do? I pulled more in Renova's banner for the 35 CP. That was some thing that happened to me, and it was all because I let myself rage pulled. And believe me, rage pulling is a theme for this video because I rage pulled a lot, and the first pity that happened set me on a collision course. It was Lena. Now, number 4. Number 4 pity. It's gotta be Juice. Yes, I pitied Deuce. I was crazy to pity Deuce, but I did it anyway. And the worst part is, my pool plans was just get Terra LD to reverse and skip her whole burst cycle. And this is not the only Terra burst cycle LD that I pitied. Deuce, why did you do this to me? She was a favorite of mine in the C50 era. I wouldn't have beaten her last chapter if it weren't for Deuce. So she has a debt of gratitude for me. But boy oh boy, I didn't expect to pity her LD by that time. And I was pretty sure I was saving for it. So I would like to take the chance that I got Terra's burst via token. Was it token? No, I token Garland. I think I got Terra's burst with a ticket. And I got her LD early. So, yeah. The resources that I was supposed to throw on Terra, that 125k, went to Deuce, who is at number 4. And at number 3 is this floppy, floating guy right here, Mog. You see, GL did the Abyss. And they repeated that Lufenia where UV cheese it, but this time that boss is immune. I mean, in the original event, he was not immune, so he was susceptible to UV throwing that debuff, and he will get poisoned by his own debuff. On that Abyss, you have to do it again, but now he's immune. So what happened? I pulled for Mog. So that's 2 out of 2 in Terra's burst cycle. Juice, Mog, 150k gems back to back. The thing is, I haven't used Mog. That's not to say he's a bad character. If you want good Mog gameplay, go to Liz Lisette's channel. She has a Saga running Mog. But in my gameplay, Mog was what on that time I used him on that Abyss. Yeah. Now don't tell me about Ridjacle. I haven't built up Ridja then. I built her up later, but I haven't built up Ridja then. I was so conservative on my resources. And yeah, that's on me. That's my fault. I'm not blaming anyone but myself on that. But yeah, Mog, he was my top 3 PD. You wanna know who's top 2? You wanna know who's top 2? The face of this channel. The head of the table himself, Squall Leonhardt. Yes, I got lucky with his EX. It took me 40k gems. Back then. No, it wasn't 40k. It was 40k gems when it was released with Selfie. But the 40k gems was on the Selfie 35. Yeah, imagine. I spent 40k for a Selfie 35 and I got Squall's EX by like the 4th pull. Squall was also my first costume. Squall was also the first character that I have the 15 CP and 35 CP completed, and that's why he was my main in that era, even though he kind of falls off prior to the EX. He never had Saz. We'll get to him. And yes. So, when did I pitied a kit by Squall? It's on his burst period. And you know what's worse? I was 75k gems in and the LD wasn't showing. It wasn't until 90,000 gems that I spent where the LD came out and I pitied the burst. I was the same fate as Vayne Novus, and the bad timing of it is it happened on my birthday. Now, if you ask me on Japan, Japan was a different situation. Let's change the music. Japan was a different situation. When his burst was released, I was on vacation. And, you know, I never really played JP religiously, and I never really played it religiously now. It's just that FF8 units are coming left and right. That's why I'm being active. But back then, I don't have any gems. And I was so lucky to get Squall's Burst after 2 pulls when it was released. That was when the servers were down and I was in vacation. I was on an island called Palawan there, and I was on a van going home with my friends that I was in vacation when I pulled Squall's Burst. So yeah, I was in an underground river there. I went there. So yeah. So year later, Squall's Burst arrived on my birthday and I had to pity it. Square you. Okay, let's make the music more desperate. Honorable mentions. Pity or not pity, I spent so much. You know who else I spent so much with? 35 CP Tidus. Tidus with his 35 CP. I did that pull when Shantodo came out. I did not pull when some banners like Baltier came out, like Aiko, because of this one person, and he arrived with his 35 CP weapon early. And what happened? I spent like 40k and I did not get his 35 CP. And you know what's the worst thing? The next event after Tidus was Prish, and I got her 35 CP via tickets. But I don't have Prish 15 CP then. So, but yeah, Prish's 35 CP gives her that upgraded HP attack, which was good back then. That's why I like Prish. Because Tidus cucked me out of these 35 CP. And, you know, thinking about it, I'm glad that I cucked out Tidus on his burst and let him stick it up on Force Saber X Plus because of what he did to my stash during the 35 CP era. I mean, it was for Ramza. Those gems were for Ramza, but he arrived with his 35 CP early. That's just crazy, man. Those were the first curveballs in GL. And speaking of curveballs, there is none better curveball than our Lord and Savior Saz. Where is he? Where the heck is Saz? I spent 50k for his 35 CP during that summer of 2018, and what did I get? I get nothing. I haven't got his 35 CP until Ultimate Alexander. That's how long it took me to get Saz. And that was 2 years. Yes, it took me 2 years to get his 35 CP. I got power tokens, but I didn't spend them. No, I didn't spend them to the Thunder God. But you know what? I'll be fine with that. So yeah, those were the units that I spent too much and not getting any of their weapons. So so for the PT honorable mention, Ildnarsh. I actually forgot when I pitted Ildnarsh's burst. When was it? I forgot the event. God damn it. Wait, let me hold up the banner. Unhide. Ah, yes, it was the Ash. Yeah, it was Ash. Yeah. So, yeah, that's when I did it. Who else are we considering? Oh yeah, Reno event. I pitied Lightning. So those are my honorable mentions. Let's jump to number one on my list. This person had the audacity to make me pity her EX, to make me pity her LD, and to make me pity an LD while chasing her burst. That man, or I say woman, is Miss Athlete's Foot herself. Where is she? Where is she? Here she is. Ultimacia. Now, the plan was I would burst token Ultimacia's burst. What happened? I gem pulled Pinello and I pitied her LD and I got 2 burst weapons in the process. So, Pinello is the consequence of me chasing for Ultimacia's burst is the consequence of me chasing Pinello's LD. One of my final mixes, Pinello LD. That's the third strike. Let's roll back the time. EX, Ultimacia, Chaos Era. I pitied her X weapon. I got so many squall weapons, but no Ultimacia weapons until the 75k pull. Got all the tokens, and Ultimacia is my second pitied weapon in DFFOO. Let's forward the clock a bit. Her lost chapter. Albeit I got Shantodo's burst during those pulls, I was only ticketing Ultimacia. The tickets did not meet the end, and that's where I did gems. I got Shantodo BT twice, and Ultimacia only appeared in the pity. Yeah. So, let's count the gems. 75k on the EX. 75k on the LD. 75k on the Pinello LD, but I got Ultimacia's Burster. So, that's 225,000 gems spent on Ultimacia alone. And that's my list. Did you enjoy it? Tell me in the comments what's your worst pity or best pity or most memorable pity, your top 5 honorable mentions. Thank you for watching, and yeah, peace out.